Hello farmers and welcome to East Vineland, New Jersey, a map by Mac Trucker 921. And just like the land in front of me, my bank account is empty. I have no land and I have no equipment, not even a chainsaw. So there is that. So that's a pretty good start. We are playing from scratch and yep, on hard economy like always. And so here we are in the month of August. Precision farming is turned on, so we'll be doing some of that. But the goal here is to buy some land, build up a farm, get some equipment, do all that. Other things that we are not going to be doing here, there will be no leasing of equipment. So starting from scratch with nothing, yeah, it's not like, okay, let's just lease a tractor for a couple grand and a plow for a couple grand after we get land and just start doing some work. Now we got to buy everything. We can use the sales store. So if there's anything for sale here, we can do that, but we cannot lease any equipment. So to begin with, we're going to be doing some contracts because that's the only way I can do money. Now, when I do contracts, I will be quote-unquote leasing equipment to do the contracts, but we're going to pretend that is the farmer's equipment that we're using. But I cannot use leased equipment on my own land. So a couple things I have done for contracts on the mod hub. I did find a few things. I haven't done contracts. I think I did maybe like 5 or 6 contracts on Elm Creek. But for contracts, I think it's called contract extensions, which allows me to have like 100 contracts showing here. And I think I can accept up to 25 contracts at a time, but whatever. I just wanted more options for contracts. Another thing I added was the supply and transport contracts, which I thought was kind of interesting. What that is, basically, it's, well, supply and demand. They're going to be asking for a certain amount of quantity of something, and if we deliver in the time that is shown, we will get the money that is offered to us. That's going to be in the future for us, for sure. But to start with, I need to find a contract. Oh, the other thing I have on here is also refresh contracts, just in case I don't find anything I'm looking for. So the pricing may look good here, but the one thing I will say, the land here in East Vineland, New Jersey is expensive. Now, they made the land pricing kind of equal to what the land value is, where the location is. So this map is based on a real location. The only thing they did add, of course, was production buildings and sell points to the area because, well, we got a farm here. So just to give you an idea of where we are, so here's the map itself, in case you haven't seen the map of East Vineland, New Jersey. A lot of fields. We're up here in like the northwestern part of the map, and we're going to scroll on in. We're going to click on farmlands here, and the reason why we're going to start here, I think this is the original farm you would start with. But if I click on this little plot of land right here, that is 45,412. Where I'm standing, the lot in front of it used to have a house on it, but since I'm starting from scratch, well, it's still going to value 130,000, and the farmland across the road is, well, 541,000. So it's going to be a while before we actually get some farmland, but I would need some land to put down something so I can sleep at night. So can I get 45,000 in contracts in a day? Well, let's find out here. I'm not sure I will. Now, the one thing I can't do, I got to remember the contract page is, fertilizing is always, profitable. The problem is, I can't take a fertilizing contract as my first one because, yeah, I could lease the equipment, but I have no money to buy fertilizer to get the job done. So, harvesting, cultivating, baling look good. I saw this right off. I'm like, wow, 17 grand, but that field is huge, and that would take me quite a while to do that. So I'm kind of looking for something, I don't want to say quick and easy. Let's do some harvesting, and let's see, what do we get for combines? There's some John Deere stuff we could use. The one thing I gotta better make sure I borrow items. Good, it says borrow, not leasing, because I said no leasing. It's borrowing. Let's see. I don't know how big these fields are or where the fields are, so let's have a look to see where field number 80 is. That is a big field. Let me just teleport over to here. Actually, I'm going to need flight mode so we can get a better look at what field 80 actually is. Until I get used to the size of the fields in the map. Yeah, that's going to take quite a while with that harvester. What size harvester or header are you offering with that? I cannot tell. That's not even a 45 footer. It might be a 40 footer. We do got smaller fields. Fields 111 might be fine, but that's let's see, field 111. Let's scroll back up. 111. It's down here. I cannot teleport to that. I can teleport to this one. There are placeables on the map as well. I'm not going to collect those. I think they're like $1,000 per. Alright, that looks like field 111 right there, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. You know what? That field's not that bad of a size. So let's go ahead and grab that contract. So, I mean, 34.67 minus 7. So I'm going to get paid like $2,700 to get the job done. Let's go ahead and borrow items. There we go. So I probably should have refreshed contracts and see what that does. There are some plowing contracts here. That looks like a T8. That would be kind of nice to use because, yeah, T8's my favorite tractor, and I really haven't used it at all in 22. Anyways, I need to go to the store, which is over here. And let's get started. Header trailer, yeah, we don't need a header trailer. At least I don't think so. I gotta change a setting. Here, hold on a second. I think that's stop and go. Where is that? Stop and go. Where's that setting? There we go. That's better. Alright, I'll come get the tractor and the trailer later on. Where's the exit here? Okay, looks like I may actually have to open up the gate. Oh, yep, got flight mode on. Can't enter a vehicle. This may not work with all the cars. Alright, I am going to meet you down the field. I know you probably might want to see the map as I go here, but this could be a little bit tricky for me at first until I get used to the map a little bit. But we need to get harvesting and talk a little bit more of what we're going to try to do here. Got the combine over there, and I've already got a headland and a half done. Combine is full, so we'll come back and grab our class tractor and our wonderful little trailer that we're going to be borrowing for a little bit. Now, I've been thinking about this series, not the map in general, but this series. I mean, what I'm trying to do here, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I was trying to figure out, okay, so what do I do with the first amount of money we get? You know, obviously land would be a nice little thing to do, and sorry about that, sir, ma'am, I'm new here, give me a moment. Land would be good, but the land that we're going to be able to buy is going to be so small, it's not like I'm going to be able to farm on it because I don't have any equipment anyways. So maybe the best thing to do with the money to begin with is to get myself a tractor and possibly a fertilizer spreader. Because if I remember, fertilizing contracts do pay off rather well, and you can zip through those rather quickly. So I'm thinking about saving up money and buying that stuff first before we buy land anywhere. Because that little piece of land I showed you, as you saw, I mean, about the only thing I'm going to be able to do on it is put down a tent and sleep in it. I'm not going to have no place to sleep for a while, I think. So I'm going to be pretty much a bum here at East Vineland, New Jersey. So getting a tractor on sale and getting a spreader. I found a spreader I want to get. It's going to be the Kubota. That's from the Kubota Mods pack, I do believe. So I think that costs like 30 grand, and that will do fertilizer and lime. So that'll be nice to have once we get a farm going. But it's just a matter of getting a tractor to go around and doing a lot of fertilizing contracts, basically. Now, like I said, I really haven't done contracts a whole lot. I think I did like 5 or 6 on Elm Creek when 22 came out, but there were some problems with contracts when 22 came out. Harvesting was one of them, so this would be my first harvesting contract I've done in 22. So really, I haven't done any contracts since, I think, Griffin, Indiana back in 19, and I did a lot of them to begin with. But then after we got the farm established, I didn't really do any contracts. So getting back into contracts is feels kind of off to me a little bit. Now, I would assume, because, but you know what happens when you assume. In 19, we could hire workers when doing contracts. Now, I can't hire one now because I have no money to pay for a worker. But I could start doing multiple contracts at a time if I want to hire some workers to do some work. I do have course play activated, so I could just do course play and do that way I can pay them less wages. I don't want to be doing too many contracts to start the series, but that's what we have to start with. The land around here is kind of expensive, so you know, getting yourself some farmland and getting started that way would be kind of nice to find some way to get some incomes. I do not want to do a whole lot of productions on this map. I'll do some. We're doing plenty on no man's land, so doing any here, fine. The grain mill is probably something I'll get into, because on this map here, to do chickens, well, you just can't harvest any cereal crop and throw that into the chicken coop and be fine with it. The chickens here on this map, it doesn't matter what chicken coop you put down, I do believe 75% of the feed needs to be cracked corn. And if you're like, whoa, cracked corn, you can make cracked corn in the grain mill, or you can buy it at the store. That's 75% of their feed. 25% of the other feed is sunflowers, and the other 25% is cereal crop, giving a production of 125%. So just getting right into chickens, well, yeah, you need some cracked corn. I guess you can just do cereal crop and raise your chickens at 25% productivity. But yeah. But really, as what I have set in my mind, you know, what steps to do first, second. Really, right now, just get some money. Hopefully, buy a tractor and a fertilizer spreader in the not so distant future. I mean, I could do fertilizing contracts right after this one because I'll have some money to buy fertilizer. But really, I'm going to have like $2,700, so buying fertilizer, I won't be able to buy a whole lot of it. But like always, it's going to be a slow start here. I do kind of like, on the contracts now I'm seeing, it says I'm like 40% done with the contract. I'm going to make sure I get all this harvested first before I deliver the grain. And I don't know if they fixed it from 19, because like I said, this is my first harvesting contract in 22. But in 19, if you delivered more than enough grain, any extra grain left over, you got the money for that. So that would be kind of nice. But yeah, this is way different than No Man's Land. I know in No Man's Land, yes, we built up a farm. But in No Man's Land, we started with all the land. So, and a $200,000 loan. So I was able to buy a tractor, a sawmill. Wait, no, I didn't get a sawmill. It was just a tractor and the furniture shop. Now the odd thing is, I just realized the first harvester we had in No Man's Land was a 770, and my first job I take here is with a 770. The first tractor I do buy, I don't want it to be one I've used on No Man's Land, but it's probably going to be one that comes up for sale in the shop. There is one for sale right now, but yeah, I don't have no cash. So it's going to be like 30 grand for the Kubota spreader, unless it shows up in the shop for sale. Or, yeah, will be the fertilizer spreader and a cheap tractor. A tractor that can run the fertilizer spreader, and that's it. And then we can do a whole bunch of fertilizing contracts. The reason why fertilizing contracts are so appealing to me, because the fertilizer can spread it at, what, 42 meters? You can do a few passes in the field and you're done. So, quick and easy money. So, got to get used to the map. It's looking pretty darn good. But I'm excited to build up a farm. And everything's going to be right around in one area. It's not going to be like no man's land where I'm going to spread my farm everywhere. It's going to be one general location. I don't plan on doing grapes or olives on this map. Let's see, what else here? Pretty much that's it. We got over it. So yeah, no leasing of equipment. So we can't do that. We own no land, no equipment, no nothing. I'm not going to just get a chainsaw and go around and cut down trees and deliver to the sawmill. Don't want to do that either. But eventually I got to start thinking, when I buy that piece of land, well, the first thing I need to do is I'm going to put down a small little tent. I think it's like $50 for a tent to give myself some place to sleep. I'm trying to think as well, if I don't have no place to sleep overnight, I think I'm going to, quote unquote, pay rent somewhere. So I'll find a house and I got to figure out a total to pay rent. I was thinking $1,500 per a month, because that comes down to like $50 a day for the house I'm in. So I might have to do that. Sounds expensive, but $1,500 a month to sleep in a, have a house rented, that's not too bad. So I want to make money quickly here. So the first few contract jobs I do, I'm going to be doing myself. But if I can hire workers later on to do the work for me, then we'll go ahead and do that. And once I get the farmland established enough, I won't be doing any more field work contracts. I may do the supply and demand, or whatever it's called, contracts. But I will say, looking at those quickly, I don't think it's paying more than what you would get if you were brought the grain to a mill yourself. It's like, say someone's asking for 100,000 liters of soybean. If you look at what they're offering you and what the current price is in game, it's almost equal. So I would like to see a little bit of an increase to get that done. So, I mean, I could just bring the 100,000 liters and get the same amount for the contract, it looks like. I'll have to look at this a little bit more, but that's what it seems like. Before we go any further here, let me go ahead and unload the combine. Where am I bringing the grain to? It would be flashing on the map, would it not be? So the sell point doesn't, well, not the sell point, but where I'm delivering it to. Or there's an exclamation point there. Is that where I'm delivering it to? I don't know. Contracts. And take their products to Grain Mill Plus. Alright, so it has an exclamation point. Didn't it blink in 19? So like that little exclamation point would just be blinking and be like, hey, deliver here. Either way. Alright, I'm going to keep on mowing down these, is it oats? I wasn't even paying attention. I think it's oats that we're harvesting here. Yeah, it is oats. So I'm hoping I can get all the grain into one trailer and get that delivered. And then we'll go ahead and take on another contract. I would like to get it like $20,000 in my bank account by the end of the day. That'd be kind of nice. See where it goes from there. See what we can get done. I think I'm going to limit myself to how many contracts no, I can't say that, because if I do fertilizing contracts, we can just rip right through them. Yeah, we'll have to play it by ear, I guess. Anywho, I'm going to continue here. And like I said, I think this will all fit into the trailer. So I'll meet you when I get done harvesting this. It'll take us a few more minutes. We'll deliver the grain, get our first amount of money here in East Vineland. So 23,000 liters of oats is what we're going to be delivering. I hope there's a lot of extra in here. That'd be nice. I was thinking though when I was harvesting, a couple things I should mention as well. Everything is turned on, meaning lime, weeds, rocks, periodic plowing, if that really means anything. Making sure I stop. Of course, our environmental score is probably going to be at 50%. Because I don't... Well, if you don't own any land... Hang on a second. If you don't own anything... Alright, it's right at 50. I was like, if you don't own anything... yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that out. But that does make sense. If you can't be at 100 if you don't own anything because... Yeah. Just going to start you right off at 50. I am seeing some fields with lime on it. I wonder if there's lime contracts, which is something I've noticed in like 19. Of course, we could lime fields in 19, but I never saw lime contracts. I never understood why. I think this is where I'm going. Someone knocked over a mailbox there, but yeah, we know who that was. Is this the only sell point here? Should be where I should be? I believe so. What is that? Grain mill plus. Well, if I see the money going up, then I know I'm in the wrong spot. No, there we go. Ooh, and I got a little bit of cash after that. Good. Harvest income, 1,038. So I actually made some money that way, because remember, I borrowed these items. I think I was going to lose like 700. I got 1,000 off the field, so that's not too bad. All right, so one contract down. I got a little bit of money in my banking account, but let me go in here and collect on that immediately. Collect. There we go. I think I'm going to do this baling contract here, but I'm going to do that at the end here, if I can. For some reason, my mouse wasn't showing up on the screen. There we go. All right, so we did a harvesting contract. Ooh, that yeah, field 80. That might be something I might do later on. Let's do a plowing contract. This one seems to be paying kind of nice. Is that a T8? That looks like a lot of T8s there. If that's a T8, I would like to do that. How big is field 92? I have no idea where these fields are. Like I said, higher numbers seem to be over here. There's 99. 92 is here. That's a decent sized field if I say so myself. But you know what? I need the money. Let's go back into contracts. What else we have? So, yeah, supply and trade. I'm going to look at those. I don't have anything. So it's either harvesting. I could start fertilizing, but I would like to try to save those if I can until I get my own equipment, which would seem kind of weird because those would be long gone by then. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and bite the bullet. I'll have to do a jump cut for sure. Wait, did that contract disappear? That's harvesting. That's why. You're looking at the wrong contracts. Make sure I do borrow items. There we go. And if I just hit tab, there we are. Actually, it's a T7. And wow, one of these plows I have not used in a while. But hey, we got some money in our bank account. I'm actually thinking about getting another contract started and hiring a worker. Getting a course play worker to harvest field number 80 and I can deliver the grain. You know what? I am going to go ahead and put the weight on the front of this. I usually don't put the weights on because I don't think I usually need them, but I'm bouncing quite a bit here. It's not a bouncy, bouncy playhouse. There we go. All right, let's drive up to field number 90, I think it was. Let's see, transport position. I haven't used one of these plows in a while. Isn't there a transport position for this? Fold plow. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so I think my brain is working now that I'm here and we're starting the Let's Play. Getting some workers going, and I don't want to say zipping through these contracts. We can get ourselves some of our own equipment as soon as we can. Actually, I probably should bring up the map a little bit so I can kind of figure where I'm going. Yeah, so getting a tractor, of course, fertilizer spreader, and then after that, saving up some money to buy the 9-meter wide plow, so I can do plowing contracts. Instead of like with this, I can do it with a 9-meter wide subsoiler / plow, and get our money that way. And then eventually, like I said, come over here and buy the land and get myself a house or a tent to sleep in. I think I am going to pay $1,500 a month in rent wherever. You know, I'm just going to have to skip to the night. I won't actually have a sleep trigger. I'll fast forward and we'll delete the $1,500 out for rent. I mean, $50 a day for a house is rather cheap, but that's what we're going to do, I think. Field 92 is starting to blink on the map. Stop signs. Well, I don't get fines for going through stop signs, so I should have my my beacons on, though. It's one of these things. Field 92 looks... I know it's big, but it doesn't look as big. But we'll wait until we get over here, and then maybe I'll find out how big it actually is. You can see the map is actually really decent size, but us working in these fields being our own, that's going to be a long ways off, I think. So I'll have to get the Franks over here and start working. So the one thing I did notice is, even though I got crop destruction on, when you do contracts in other people's fields, yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing here. Alright, like I said, it's been a while since I've done plowing, but I think that's the way the plow should be going for the direction I'm going. Go ahead and lower this down here. And move over a little bit more. There we go. We don't really need the beacons on anymore. It is really nice to actually get on a new map. I think it's going to be good for the No Man's Land series as well. I don't want to say I was getting burned out in the No Man's Land series, but maybe I was getting burned out on it a little bit. But this series here, I think it's going to refresh me by doing, you know, half episodes on here, half episodes of No Man's Land. But in the beginning, you may see like 4 episodes of this a week and 1 episode of No Man's Land. Like I said, don't worry, we're not leaving No Man's Land yet. We got plenty more. I say plenty more. We got more to do. I don't want to say plenty, but we definitely got more to do. But I would like to get the bigger brother of this T7 on this map, a T8. My favorite tractor. That was my go-to tractor when I started. You want to raise it? There we go. I'll raise the plow. When I started on FS15. FS13 was my first farming simulator experience, but I only played 13 for like about 2 or 3 weeks. And then 15 came out, so I never, you know, on 13, there weren't many YouTube videos out there, anything like that, so I was kind of like learning as I go. And trial and error, I didn't know that much about farming. But I learned as I went, and then when 15 came out, I learned a lot more. Built up my farm, and T8 looked really good to me, and I got the T8, and I had like 3 or 4 of those on the farm. And as I found out before 22 came out, I did a look back at Farming Simulator 15 just to show how far Farming Simulator has come as a series. And when I went back on that map, it was kind of interesting. I didn't think I was going to have a save game on it, but Steam my last save game, and apparently I upgraded all the T9s on it back then. But anywho, T8 is kind of like my blanket, my little comfort tractor. When I see a T8, it's, oh yeah, my first big tractors that I got. Let me spin around and I'll get ready to go on the other side. But before I continue plowing here, because this is going to take me a while, that's no lie. I think it's going to take me at least an hour and a half to do this field. Let's try not to miss some spots here because I want to come on back. I'm going to park this here for a second because I think we're going to try, if I go back to harvesting contracts, field 37 is actually paying more. So let's giddy up on field number 37. Make sure I borrow items. Thank you. So I can take multiple contracts, which is good. All right, so where is field 37? There's 36. Oh, it's right next to the shop. How convenient is that? The one thing I need to check on is my settings the same for course play, automatic repair. I forgot which way that needs to be. Keep it healthy. Don't repair. Wages, I usually do 50%. Alright, we'll try it like that. Oh, come on. You're somewhat there. There we go. Fold the combine. Drive on this person's lawn because that's what you do. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not dropping straw on the ground, I do have the mod where we can pick up straw on contracts, but I don't have a tractor, baler, any of that stuff, so no sense in dropping straw down. Let me come into here. Workers. Create job, not go to, follow me, course play. And go in that general direction. Sure, number of headlands. We're going to have you do 3. Go ahead and start the job for you. So oats is the crop of the day, it appears. And then let me just go ahead and make sure everything is all set here. Nearest waypoint. Yep, alright, so if I do this, so we can definitely hire course play workers for doing contracts, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and get set up with this. He's going to fill up kind of quickly. Articulated tractors, or trailers, my favorite. And I do see the exclamation point on the map, so I'm going somewhere in the northeastern part of the map to deliver this. Let's go ahead and park this tractor right here for now. So I'm going to let Frank... let's see. Wait, we got to figure out who's driving this, right? Hey, it's Francine. Francine's going to be harvesting field number 37. That is an oddly shaped field. Why do we have... Kind of interesting that we had to put trees right there. But that is what it is. Anywho, let me get back up to where... So I'm going to be delivering up here. Where's my... There we go. I have no idea where I was on the map, so just tab on through. Alright, I can get back to work now. Plowing this field. So this is going to take me, like I said, probably about a good hour to do so. But in the meantime, I'll get the Franks busy harvesting some fields. I'm not going to do more than one working contract. Well, I'll be working one. Franks will be working another contract for now. I don't want to get too much into it because, well, I may not have the money to pay them for the amount of work that they're doing. But they get done what they get done. And hopefully it won't be too expensive to pay them. I mean, if I got to pay them $1,000 to get a contract done that's going to pay me $7, I'm fine with that for now. Whatever I need to do to get it done. "30 minutes later, and this is where we're at, the combine, and Francine is doing a fine job, somewhat. Next time we do course play with a harvester, I'm going to have to narrow it a little bit, leaving little patches here and there of some crops still standing, but overall not too bad. This is my first full load of oats I'm bringing over from this field in the contract. As for me and the T7 and plowing that field, we're about 40% done. So overall, not too bad. I thought it was going to take me like an hour and a half to plow that field, so maybe just a little over, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Close enough, but whatever. Anywho, I need to bring this over to, well, where am I going here? That's a good question. All the way to the top of the map, then hang a right. And we're basically going to the farthest northeast corner of the map that we possibly can. That's where the livestock market is, so it'd be good to know where that is. But I figured I'd bring you guys along with me on this journey here because, you know, we're kind of showing off the map. This will be our future farm to the left. That's where we're going to build it. Our home will be right over there on the right. Where are we here? No, right up here on the right. You can see where those two little yellow circles are. Like I said, if you're starting off with new farmer, I think that's where your home farm is going to be. And all your sheds and everything will be over there. All I know is our first plot of land will be right here. That's the cheapest. Enough for me to put up a tent. And where we go from there, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting for these two contracts to get done because we're going to get paid roughly like $7,000 a piece. So we'll be over 15 grand, which sounds really, really good. And I probably should accept that grass contract before it disappears because that's going to pay 17 grand. I'll probably get one of the Franks to mow it in the Krone Big M. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know what kind of, it says bales. I don't know if it's grass bales I'm doing or silage bales or what I'm doing, but I probably should accept that before it disappears because we'll get paid. Well, I know it says 17,000. I don't know how much I'll get paid for borrowing the items. Almost saw an accident there. So right on the edge of the map, on the northern edge, we do have a Massey Ferguson 3670, I think it was. 3670. Yep, she's chugging along here. And we seem to be getting a lot of crop off that field, which is good because any extra, of course, we'll get paid for it. So that's always nice. But I need to get back there before she fills up the combine. I don't want to be paying Francine for sitting there. But she's getting that field done rather quickly. Then I'll probably, I mean, yeah, next step is definitely the grass field. We'll get that taken care of. And then harvesting contracts. I'll probably just keep doing those as I continue plowing field number 92, I think it is. Don't know if that's a production building or not. Because it's not marked on the map, so it must be a production building, I would assume. So you can see it is a decent sized map. It's taking me a while to get up here. Even at 24 miles an hour, it's taking me a moment. But yeah, definitely our first steps is buy that fertilizer spreader for like 30, and then either buy a used tractor or buy like the cheapest tractor I can in order to do fertilizing contracts. I could do it that way. Okay, so it looks like I'm going right here, but where right here? I don't see the drop-off point. Apparently the drop-off point is right here. Make sure the money's not going up. Okay, we're all set. %6 of it is transported. Sorry, whoever owns this field, I'm going to go into your crop a little bit, but don't worry, no destruction on your crops for some unknown reason. Alright, I need to book it back on down to the field because the combine was half full when I left. So I need to get back on down there and make sure she's empty. She'll get done here before I get done plowing that field. So, yeah, I'm going to keep on working here. See what we can get done. I'll probably bring it back when we're kind of finishing up the harvest part. Like I said, I'll still be plowing though. Francine is all done in the case combine, but I'm going around picking up the bigger pieces, especially the corners. I don't expect her to get the corners too well. But, like I mentioned earlier, next time I do well, probably any kind of work, I'm going to narrow the working with a little bit on course play, because if you look in the field, they got little bits and pieces here, and they start going back and forth that they miss. Not that big of a deal. I'm not going to go around and pick up all that because probably not worth it. Probably get maybe like 100 or 200 liters of oats. I mean, yes, in the early stages, every little penny would matter, but I think we're going to be doing okay here. So not too bad. I think it was at 3,700 or something like that. We're down to 3,100. What's my wages? Now, the first day wages are going to look, economy page is going to look a little bit weird because I had to get rid of the loan. And I think I started off with $500,000 or so. Wage payment, $625 for her to combine this field. So not too bad. Especially when I'm going to get paid. Well, it was $7 grand, but I borrow equipment. I don't know, I don't think I can see how much I paid for borrowing equipment. I'll see it when we complete the job here in a little bit. I'm just a little bit over halfway done with plowing field number 92. Of course, some of my time's been taken up driving back and forth in the Massey Ferguson, dropping off the oats. And let's see here, am I pretty much done on the corners? Yeah, we'll grab this right here, I guess. And then we'll unload into our trailer, or the borrowed trailer, heading up. We'll get rid of the rest of the grain, see how much we get for the extra grain. And then we'll go back to the contract page. Hopefully that grass contract, baling contract is still there for like 17 grand. Then we'll get someone working on mowing, but I'll be doing the rest. I'll be doing the baling. I don't know if it's silage bales or grass bales. Don't know, but we can check here in a second. Actually, I better do that while we're unloading here. Let's go to the contract page. For mowing and baling. Mow the grass, then dry it with a tedder and bale it. Take the bales, so they want, basically it's going to be, hay bales. But it is 17 grand. And I'm only paying $1,500 for borrowing the equipment. So, yeah, I'm going to get paid 16 grand for that job, minus what I pay a worker. Make sure I borrow items. Borrow items. Okay, we're all set there. So we got the contract. Good. Boy, why did it get laggy all of a sudden? Was it spawning in all the equipment over there? Maybe that's what it was doing. Alright, there is that. Alright, I'll meet you back up at the northeast part of the corner. The good thing is I don't have to drive all the way back with the Massey Ferguson trailer. I can just, once I dump all this off and in, I can complete the contract. And we have arrived, so hopefully we get a good amount this time. I think we got like 1,000 on the last field that we harvested, but this field's a little bit bigger. So maybe we'll get a little bit more from it. If I can find the... Where's the trigger here? Okay, where's the trigger for this? Oh, articulated tractors. Trailers, I should say. Probably got to get a little bit closer. There we go. So maybe I'll get $2 grand for the extra grain that we got. 93% complete. An additional 1721, so I'll take that. Let me jump out of the tractor because that's going to disappear here in a second. Let's go to our contract page. Completed. So, yeah, I paid $1,500 for leasing costs or borrowing the equipment. We're not missing any crops. Reimbursement of $0. Okay. Let's go ahead and collect on that. We're at $10,000. That's not too bad. All right, let's jump on down to the store. Nope. Yep, we'll jump on down to the Krone Big M. Where am I going for this? What? Field 94. You can't get there from here, apparently. No. Let's see. I gotta go down here, take the main road, then take my first left, and then go on up. All right. So it's hay bales that we'll be doing, apparently. But we're going to hire one of the Franks to go ahead and do the mowing job while I continue plowing. A 17 grand, or 16 grand is going to be. And then whatever extra we get for hay bales. I'm trying to think, do I want to keep some hay bales? Well, I would like to, but we're a long ways off from having any types of farm animals. 2, I don't have no land to put it on right now, so we'll just have to sell it all. So no sense why I put them on course play worker. No sense of putting on swath dropping. Might as well be on widespread because we got to ted it. And then windrow it. And then bale it. Now I see why it's going to be 17 grand to do this job because it's work intensive. I do believe I'm going to be turning left here. I'm going to follow that car as best I can. Check for traffic. Let's see, let me make sure. Yep, it's already on wide spreading. Now this is a pretty big grass field because when this contract first came up and I was starting the episode, like, oh, we're going to start with that. Then I saw the size of the grass field. I was like, no, I'm okay with that for now. But you can't resist a contract that's paying that much. Well, you can resist it, but at least me, it kind of eats away at me a little bit when I'm doing other jobs. Like, there's one there for 17,000. I don't know if there's actually a road that goes out to this field or not, because like I said, I don't know the map well enough. So I'm going to cut across this guy's driveway and see where it brings us. Actually, I think that driveway slash road would have been better. But, oh, okay, we are here. What is this here? Oh, this is the grape production, I do believe. Okay, so here is the grass field, and yeah, it's a decent sized field for darn sure. All right, so this time I do course play. Let's go ahead and create a job. Create a job, I said. There we go. Course play work, field position. Right there. Right there. And then we're going to narrow that down a little bit. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, right there is good. Number of headlands, we'll do 3. Should be fine. Generate a field course. Can I generate course? The log may have more information. Why can't you generate a course? Turn it on. And of course, hire ourselves a worker. Looks like Francine is back. Looks like she's the only one here somewhere. Maybe Frank and Frank Jr. are still back on no man's land doing whatever they need to be doing. Anywho, with that going on, this is where I am currently, as you can see. So I'm going to continue on doing this. This job here will pay $7,000. You want to lower that plow there, buddy? Thank you. Yeah, so I'm about halfway done. I'm guessing Francine's going to finish up that field before I finish up here. But not too bad. We got 2 contract jobs done. This one's half done. The hay job's going to take a little longer. I'm going to have to ted it, windrow it, bale it, pick it up, and deliver it. But that'll be for next episode. I'm going to wrap up this episode right here. So when we start next episode, this job will be completed, and I'll be working in the grass field. I don't know if I'll have a Frank working somewhere else by then, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have a course plate worker. Just one. We're just going to have one at a time. I think plans can change. See how it goes. I just don't want to have 20 some odd workers going and having a whole bunch of money coming in at once. I want to pace myself at a certain degree here. Like I said, I don't want to be bringing in like hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day. I mean, that would be nice because we could advance kind of quickly, but yes, I got to learn to pace myself at a certain range here, see if we can figure it out. But anywho, East Vineland, New Jersey by Mack Trucker 921. And yeah, we're starting with no land, no money, no equipment, but now we got $10,000 in the bank account, and we'll have to keep our eye on the sales page quite a lot in the beginning of the series. But yeah, when we get to start next series, this job will be done. She'll be done mowing the grass, and we'll be tedding, windrowing, and like I said, baling, picking up the bales, getting that done, and maybe having them harvest field number 80, whatever it was, and getting some more money that way. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in East Vineland, New Jersey. But until then, have a good one.